I have a collection of vintage saree bits and it's high time I did something about it. This green piece is a pallu of a Banaras saree and it has nice paisleys on it. This one again is a pallu portion of another saree and it has some very beautiful motifs within the pallu. You can see a little parrot or a peacock, and the saree color was very beautiful, and then it has again these peacocks in the edge. This is a very beautiful temple border saree in a gorgeous color of turmeric and vermilion. The sad part is this saree is really fraying and falling apart. The temple border and the zari details are very, very beautiful. This is another pallu of a Banaras saree. The saree is a beautiful brown color and it has this lovely paisleys again on the pallu. This is truly a work of art. This is a plain blue saree with a pink purple kind of border. The color is very beautiful. Again, the saree is falling apart. I have a few saree borders saved, things that are still falling apart but are beautiful. They can't be turned into anything wearable but can be used as home decor or do some DIY. This Banaras silk saree is my mother's wedding saree. Again, it's falling apart, but it has the most beautiful border and the most beautiful color in brown and is just so lovely, and I simply couldn't throw it away. I need to find a way of making sure that I preserve it forever. So here I'm going to attempt to create some DIYs with these sarees and see if I can preserve them forever. Starting with this Banaras pallu, I want to turn this into a framed art piece. Initially I wanted to frame a Maharaja and Maharani picture within the pallu, but then I realized it's way too beautiful to cut it from the middle. So the first thing I do is, of course, iron it to remove most of the creases, and then I'm going to separate the most ornate part of this pallu and stick it on top of a piece of paper so that it has a firm hold. I'm using a pink craft sheet as opposed to a white one, because if I put it on a white one, some of the white will show through and I don't want that to happen. So I'm using pink, so I'm okay with the pink showing through. First thing to do is, of course, to apply the white glue evenly on the piece of paper and let it dry a little bit before I slowly paste my saree pallu on it. You have to do this in one go because you cannot lift the saree once it's pasted. Especially if the saree is fraying, it'll tear apart. So this has to be done carefully. And since it's a large piece, 2 people are needed. And letting the white glue or Fevicol dry a little bit and become a little more tacky means it's not going to bleed through and come to the front of the saree. So it sticks, but it doesn't really bleed through and have like a patchy front. And having a stiff back sort of makes sure that you're able to see the pallu in all its glory, and it doesn't shift and it doesn't fray further. Here it is. Now we're going to let this dry completely for an hour or 2 before we work with it again. Next, I have these school books from Classmate. It's a plain book that you use in school, and they are between 50 and 100, and we are planning to turn these boring school books into designer notebooks. The first thing again is to apply a thin layer of Fevicol on top. Just like how you would bind a book, we're going to bind this with a vintage saree. Applying Fevicol to one side and the edge We have to let it dry, touch it. If the glue transfers onto your hand, wait for some more time. It's ready to paste when the glue is still tacky but it doesn't transfer on to your finger. Now we are ready to paste our fabric. I'm using this portion with the temple border and the saree. And just like we did with the previous saree pallu, we are going to start from the edge and start smoothing it out from one corner to the other. And since this is a smaller piece, it's easier for one person to handle it. You can use a cloth, you can use a sponge to smoothen it out. Hands will do as well. And this is a very slow process. The video currently is at a 2x speed, and that's how slowly you need to do this process. Once that side is completely dry, we do the back. Follow the same process, cover with glue, wait till it dries a little bit. When it doesn't transfer on to your finger, it's ready, and then you simply smooth it out. Then just like binding a book, you wrap it around. And what we're going to do is to cover this, we're going to stick the last page and the book bind, so it looks like a clean edge finish. This truly reminded me of the childhood days when we would, during the beginning of the school, we would sit and bind all our books. But this last process we didn't do. And we let it dry completely for a day. And this is our final finished product. We did a couple more. This is a plain one. And then one of my teammates got a little too creative and created this book. I like that the little teddy bear is seen through. It's kind of cute. And then we created this one. It was fun. Next, I have this box saved. This a friend of mine gifted me a bunch of flowers on my 40th birthday, and I had this box saved. So I plan to use this border. The box itself is great. It's just got that little branding of the florist in the front, which I don't want to see. So I'm just going to use this border and wrap it around. Let a little bit of the black and white stripes show. Leave the black lid on just as is and not do anything about it. And simply paste the border onto it. This is the process of making sure you get 100% parallel lines on a round surface. So I marked where I want to paste my border, and this is a foolproof method of making sure you get a good round edge. Next, the process is the same to cover the space with the white glue, Fevicol, and then we simply position the border and paste it, smooth it down so that all the creases go away. Here again the video is sped up to more than 2x. It's a slow process to make sure that you are getting a good perfect stick. Next, to give it a clean little edge where it meets, I'm going to fold it and stick it together. That way there are no raw edges on the corner. I enjoyed creating these ideas that were stuck in my head and turning them into reality. I hope you like them too. This is how the box turned out. The video somehow doesn't do justice to how it looks. This was the before of the box, and this is how it looks now. Our humble little school books turned into lovely designer silk cover books. Our Banaras sari border, that is a work of art, is now truly displayed as a work of art. I hope you like these ideas. If you have any ideas, do let me know.